Elizabello throws the ultimate king punch in my review of One Piece, episode 638. First up, Blue Gilly, kiss my ass. I don't like the fact that this joke of a character took out Ricky with one kick to the face. That's some bullshit right there. Maybe I was building up Ricky in my mind a little bit too much, but that's only because they were building him up in the episodes. He seemed like he was going to be a major player in this story. And I still think he is going to have an important role because even after he's defeated, they don't reveal his face, and there's a portion of his mask that has been ripped off, and you see that he's an old man, and he's cursing Doflamingo. So I'm guessing that he might actually be the legendary warrior Kyros, but since he's so old now, he frankly just doesn't have the skills to pay the bills anymore. But still, I'm hoping to see more from Ricky in the future, because he was such a cool character. He didn't need hockey or devil fruit powers. He just relied on his muscles and his big-ass, badass sword, which is straight out of Berserk. So, I hope to see more from Ricky. And Blue Gilly, I'm glad you got defeated, you little asshole. I wish a freaking fighting fish would have come up and just bit you in half at the end of the episode. But still, Elizabello. Let's talk about that big punch, which I thought this thing was going to be a complete joke. The minute they started building this thing up, I thought he was just going to be a joke character and it was going to do nothing. But they were touting this as one of the strongest punches seen in the series. It apparently has the ability to kill an emperor. I'm not so sure about that. I don't really know if I want to believe that. But it does leave a pretty big crater in the arena, and it knocks everyone away, except for Bartolomeo. And this is interesting because they finally decide to reveal his abilities, and he even talks about them outright. Bartolomeo is a barrier man. And it's not so much Shinra Tensei as it is Mr. Mime, if you know what I mean. He basically creates these big, like, shields that he can put in front of himself, and he can use them for both offense and for defense because he actually knocks Elizabello away very easily, ends up winning the whole match, and gloats to the whole audience by basically cursing them out, and it's very hilarious and it goes in line with his character. I love Bartolomeo. He is just a trip. Another thing that I really liked about this week's episode is before Bartolomeo's powers were revealed, he had this short fight with Bellamy, which was really awesome. And just like Ricky, Bellamy is defeated, but I still think that he's going to have an important role in this story. And there's also a little bit of stuff at the end where Frankie is actually finally teaming up with the Toy Soldier, because the Toy Soldier actually wants to help the workers in the factory they're trying to destroy. So now they're going to combine their efforts to sort of save everybody and destroy the factory and save the day. But this is still the very beginning of this arc. This tournament is still barely even started. I cannot wait to see more from the powers of Bartolomeo, because after seeing him take out Elizabello this week, I wonder how his powers actually work. Because when he used them for the very first time, it was like this one little shield in front of him. I wonder if he can only use one at a time, or if he can completely, like, box himself off, and how many of those he can actually use at a time. When you really think about it, that's a very powerful ability. Just being able to attack him almost seems almost impossible. I mean, how do you get through those barriers in the first place? Maybe it's going to require hockey, maybe something else, maybe there's another trick to it. These devil fruit powers always have some sort of strange weakness or some sort of Achilles heel to them in some form or fashion. It's just a matter of seeing it happen. But still, this was a great episode with a lot of great imagery, a lot of cool action. There were a lot of things I didn't even mention. There were a lot of little scuffles that happened this week, especially with all of the people that were involved with Elizabello, his entire, like, crew, which basically just sort of abandoned him except for Dogma, and they all just tried to kill him, and that's when he just decided to take him out with a big punch, which was really destructive and awesome. And like I said, just, again, all the artwork was pretty good, all the action scenes were good. Even Blue Gilly had some pretty cool scenes, even though I don't like the character. And also, again, I love the fact that in this arc, half of the side cast, like everybody you see in the background, are toys. It just makes for a really visually appealing, you know, imagery. Like, when you see people cheering in the audience, there's normal people, and then all of a sudden there's a robot, a shark, a pickle monster, and a freaking horse. It makes no sense, but it works within One Piece, and that's absolutely wonderful. It'll give this arc a lot of distinctiveness. So I'm really excited for the future of the Dressrosa arc. It's just getting more and more interesting. And this episode was pretty good right here. It was a little slow in some parts, especially the build-up for the punch. And, you know, it's like all the other typical shonen series when they're building up a big attack. And, you know, I knew they were going to go to, like, the midway point when they were building up the attack. You know, the midway title card. I just knew that was going to happen. It's exactly what they do, because it's like when it's on TV or when it's like a game show. It's like, oh, you want to see something cool? You want to see something cool? Commercial break, you got to check it out later, bitches. And it's a great hook. But still, it sort of dragged the episode down just a little bit. But otherwise, this was a fun episode, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's definitely worth your time, especially if you're a One Piece fan. You can check it out to see more of Bartolomeo's abilities, Bellamy going crazy, and Elizabello destroying everyone in the ring. So check it out, guys. It was a lot of fun. 8 out of 10 from me. If you guys had a chance to check out this week's episode of One Piece, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. You could tell me about your favorite moments, favorite fight scenes, or did you outright just hate this episode? Remember, guys, before you leave, make sure and hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. It's one of the easiest ways to support our videos. And you could subscribe to our channel, and you can check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll put links to those in the description box below. And make sure to check out my full playlist of every episode of Kill La Kill. I have officially reviewed the entire series. It is now done. If you haven't seen Kill La Kill yet, check it out. It's an awesome series. I reviewed the whole thing. Check those out too. I also did a reaction to the final episode. So there it is. That's my plug this week, guys. I will see you next time. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.